Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. So I said I was going to jump on and do a little chat about like the walking on water. And it was so funny because like ever since I was little and I heard about walking on water, it was something I've always wanted to do. And it was like my little child, my inner child, it was something was like, oh wow, when I heard that, I was like, ah, because when I was little, we did go to church for a little bit. My mom took us to like Sunday school and things, but then things changed. She had asked us if that was something we were interested in doing, and we didn't want to go. We didn't like it. But so we stopped going. But anyway, which is a good thing because now I'm not corrupted by religious thoughts and beliefs. But the one thing that did stick with me, and that was like my inner child thing, right? And it was like that was something that I wanted to do and experience in life. And it was like, well, if Jesus can do it, why not I? And it was like, okay. So I don't know. It was just a childhood fun thing to, think about when we're kids. Like, I want to fly or I want to have wings or, it was just like this little inner child fun thing. And then so when I got older, it was always like in the back of my mind, like trying to, what does that mean? What does it mean to walk on water? And it was like, I always had these different thoughts on as I was growing older. I'm like, walk on what? And I was trying to contemplate it. It's like, how do you do that? Right. Like, and so like, is that real? What is that meaning? What's the truth about that? Because I'm always about questioning, right? I don't always just accept. When we just accept things, like that's where we're limited in the human concept. But so I always question things, and it's like, yeah, no, that doesn't. But as a child, I thought it would be fun. And so it was so funny because when I did finally get to move to Florida, which is a whole different story in itself, when I had reached Florida and I found claimed my space on Clearwater Beach, the beach has this thing where like you have this little dips in the sand, right? And you can stand on sand and then the water just kind of rises above. And it can get to be like this high. And it was so funny because the one day when I realized that I was like, I'm walking on water, right? But it was it was so funny because like I really wasn't, but it appeared to be because the sand came up and then like there's water, deep water here, and then you have your sand that comes up and then it goes back down over here and then another dip of water. And it's like you're raised up onto this sand and water just flows like over top of it, and it's like it appears like you're walking on water, right? And so I said to my one friend, I was like, they were standing over on the beach. I'm like, look, I'm walking on water. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And so I was just like in my state of bliss. I was like, is this what they mean? Maybe this is what they meant by that. And it was so funny. I was just in my space of bliss. Like my inner child just came out and I was just kind of like dancing along in the water. Just having fun in my state of bliss. I'm walking on water and I was like, take pictures. But it was so funny. But now, evolving, I don't know, probably when I lived on the beach was probably like 6 years ago. Um, evolving, writing this book, channeling it, right? The information. And I just did a clip on that, what it means. But it says thereby to walk on water is being unto itself, which is separate of, for there is no water to walk on that I can't. It is that which I choose not to, for I am of all things as they are of to me, which is the line in being one too, that is of the spring, which is source. So what it means is that I can't if I'm not one with source, if I'm not one with all. Like I can if I am one with all, but it's when I can't that I can't. And that's my understanding of it today. So my understanding has evolved through these different things about the walking on water. And when I got this channeling, I was like, oh, it makes sense now. And here I am, I don't know. I'm no longer that little innocent child. What is the walking on water, or the person that I was when I lived on the Clearwater Beach? I'm now a different person with all this different knowledge and awareness that's coming in, and it's your divine connection with source, because when you have to be one with the water to walk on water. You have to be one with the mountain to move mountains. You have to be connected, right, in a higher version of yourself, not the lower version of yourself. And that's what Jesus was saying. To be one with the water, to walk on water. And that's what he did. And that's what he was teaching. And that's what they do teach, from that concept. And that's being a reality. Like, be one with it all in order to be it, right? To walk with the water, you have to be with it to walk on water. And I don't know if that makes sense for you, but it does for me, because now I'm able to make the connection to it. In order to, walk on water, you have to be one with it. Now, am I going to go and practice myself to be connected to source and walk on water? Now that I have this different awareness, maybe. Let's see if it'll work. But again, it's a metaphor, right? To walk on water and to walk above, right? Instead of walking in the sands and the muck and the water, you have to be connected with source to walk on water. It's not really about walking on water, because our density in the body, right? And so it's just a metaphor to walk on water. And to move mountains. You have to be one with it, connected, not separate from it in order to do it. You can't pick up a mountain and move it from a human form, right? You can't walk on water from the human form. You have to be connected. Jesus didn't really walk on water. It was his connection to the divine that allowed him to do what he could do, right? And so it's our divine connection, not our separation. So basically that's where that comes from. But maybe it'll be fun to see if I can connect and then walk on water at that point. And then I had a really cool experience as far as the dolphin ride, energetic dolphin connected ride that I went on. And I'll do a different sharing on that later. But yeah, you really have to be divinely connected in order to, be connected and to walk on water, which is to rise above, right? Divine knowledge, the awareness, and be on the water, not under the water, and the muck, and the dirt, and the suffering, and the awareness and the constructs and everything from that space. That's what that was. That's what it means. And so when I finally got it the other day, when I was channeling this part, it was like my soul was like, oh, she finally gets it, And so I was so blissful that day. It was just inside bliss that my soul was like, she gets it, she finally gets it. But it took me the evolution of it, like from a little child, and it's been circulating around in my field and my energy since childhood, and then evolved and looked at it from different perspectives along the trail. So evolution of awareness consciousness, and it's like, okay, my inner child's like, or my higher soul, is like, she gets it, right? So, and that leads to all possibilities. When we walk above the water, okay, we're not swimming in the muck, right? And people might want to challenge that because they actually believe he walked on water, but that's not what was happening. That's not what it was saying. It was saying you have to be connected to walk on water, which is not really physical, but in your consciousness, right? And to be out of the muck and the water and the suffering, see it from a higher perspective, right? All right, and that's pretty much what I want to share about that. So yeah, cute little story in the journey, as that evolved and have come around to it. And it's so interesting because my life is really not, it seems like I have this whole life of spiritual going ons, because like my whole life has been just spiritual stuff, one thing after another, and including reading this book and then everything else. And and it's not about religion, but it's about my evolution as a spiritual being, not my human concept. And a lot of people tell you that, you're actually a spiritual being having a human experience. Which is true. I find that's true, because I have this whole spiritual life thing going on, and then I have my human version of Laura at the same time, and it's like, okay, it's trying to manage that, and find balance with that in my life. And it's like, there's still things that are needing to be worked out per se, like because I'm still kind of working a physical world job, but then I'm doing spiritual work, and it's just trying to find that good balance between it. Because of course I am human in this form, not myself as I am human, but in this human form I am. And so I have to still participate in the form world, even though I don't want to. And it's just trying to find that good balance of staying in that, but together. So, and I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that was just a little, cute story that I wanted to share here with you about walking on water and what it really means from that perspective, which was an aha the other day. And I was just like so in bliss with, because my spirit and conscious and source was like, oh, she finally gets it. um, from that. And even though I was joking about it when I was playing on the sand dunes in the water, and it was fun. It was a high experience. And then when I felt that, I was in bliss, so I was in the higher realms, right? And so that was fun for me too. It was like I was in my inner child since I was little again. And it was like just something that's kind of evolved over time for me from different experiences along the way and trying to figure out what that really meant. But when it came to me, it was like to be one with water, to walk on water, you have to be one with source to be from that perspective, not your human concepts of perspecting. But yeah, all right. Well, happy journeys. A nice little story, little short story to share, make it fun. Because I know, like with the clips, it kind of helps bring it all together and make it fun to share little different things as I've been going through my own journey of awakening, into this present moment from, my death experience. So everything that's been kind of playing out here. And I don't know if I'm going to get to putting everything in a book, because this, maybe at some point, because this one book here is just taking up a lot of my time. I was going to put everything in a book, but I decided to share my little fun journeys on the video. But yeah, stay tuned for more fun experiences. I'll be sharing those along with clips from the book that I'm channeling. And I hope you have a great day, and like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next stories. All right, happy journeys.